So, weightlifting based questions. Weightlifter you look up to, then met, who was not that great in person. Question by Liv Hoogerbrug. I'm so saying that right. There was this one specific athlete that was just really rude when I met him, and I asked to take a picture with him, and he was just like trying to get rid of me ASAP and just made me feel like I was a peasant. And I remember I was just like, unfollow him. He's not a nice person. Who's your most memorable weightlifting starstruck moment? I am basically starstruck when I see all the biggest names in weightlifting. But I think the most time I was starstruck was probably the first time I went to a big competition, which was Europeans under 23, Elat, Israel, and Lasha walked in, and he just looked like this huge god of an athlete. And I remember just going, no way is this guy here, like, are you joking? And I remember just walking up to him, literally I don't think he could even see me, like I was just so far beneath him, and I was like, hi, can I please take a picture with you? He's honestly the best. He's so sweet, he's so patient. The amount of people that just want to take pictures with him, and he's just always just so patient and ready to take pictures. I've met him every single competition after, and he'll always wave and be really nice. He's such a great guy. How do you work at your woman days, and how do you feel, and so on? Well, yes, you know, those days are not great. I definitely, from experience, have learned to expect how to feel before, during, and after a period. So I will actually just not get super frustrated with myself if I am being a bit slow and sloppy the few days before, because I know that's what I usually expect. I actually filmed a video for the first YouTube video I did, which was about the World Championships, and there's a clip of me in the car discussing this that I did not include in the final video. So I think the video actually really explains everything you need to know. What is that? So yesterday I PR'd my clean. I had it in my head to get 107 off the floor. So I got 106 last Friday, and I wanted to get 107. So on the way there, since I drive for like 45 minutes to the gym, I was planning in my head what warm-up I need to do to get to 107 the quickest way possible, just because my legs were like, oh my god, like super tired. So I got to 107, I managed to clean it twice, almost got a jerk. As soon as I was doing squats in both morning and evening sessions, I was just feeling like my legs were, I don't know, like really tired. Like I was back squatting 120, which I can usually do half asleep for 10 reps. And I was really struggling to do like a double with 120. And then in the evening I had front squats, and I think I even dropped 105 for a single, which is crazy. Like I had just cleaned 107 twice, and then all of a sudden I can't front squat 105. And I was thinking, what is wrong with my legs? And then I checked my period tracker app today, and turns out I will be getting my period this week. And I was like, oh, no wonder. This week usually is when my body is at its worst. My legs will be back to normal next week for sure. Yeah, so period sucks. Okay. Who is your top 3 lifters at the moment? 3 for men and 3 for women. Asked by you at my table. Tom Oloradiana, Kate Nye, Matthew Rogers, just because, you know, she always has to be in my top 3. Men. I am obsessed with Lasha, Tiantao, love Tiantao, and Meso from Qatar. I don't know how to say your name. Lifetime goals in snatch and clean and jerk. So, I mean, these are constantly gonna change. I just read an old diary of mine where I said the day I hit 90 kilo snatch is the day I'll retire. Turns out I'm approaching a 90 kilo snatch, and I in no way want to retire when I reach that goal. So lifetime goals, I mean, being realistic with myself, if I get to like over 90 kilos in snatch, up to like 95, maybe 115, over 115 clean and jerk, I would honestly be super proud of myself. Not that I'm not already, but it's just the dream. How do you deal with people's rude opinions about a lady practicing weightlifting? Asked by Alexis Bolchis. I honestly don't get that much negativity. Like I said before, I've never actually gotten negativity about being a woman in the sport. If anything, I've gotten loads and loads and loads of admiration. People really support it and are impressed by it. So I am lucky to have not had negativity or rude opinions. If you are getting rude opinions about you being in the sport, just keep in mind that that's just such an old school mentality. I mean, at this point, 2019, approaching 2020, you can't really expect people to still like put stereotypes on a sport like ours. Those people are just stuck in the past. Amanda, the strong panda, asked me Paris 2024. And Amanda, of course, you know that Paris 2024 is gonna be definitely an aim, not just because it's the Olympics, but it's in Paris. And me and Paris are like this, literally. What do you do in the days when you don't feel motivated? P.S. You're so fab. Oh, thank you. By IISILINN. I don't think that's an actual word, that's why I spelled it. So on the days when I don't feel motivated, at this point, I just do everything anyway. I can't even tell you what goes through my head. I know that there are some days where I just sit on my bed and go, I don't feel like today. I don't feel like driving to the gym. I don't feel like working out. But as this goes through my head, I'm still putting on my shoes, getting dressed and driving to the gym. What I always just keep in mind is to tell myself, just make it count. Make every single second of your training session count. If you are feeling sloppy, slow, and tired and demotivated during a training session, use that to help that type of training session. Meaning, I always just think, you know what, I don't feel like, then let me train for an I don't feel like attitude. Eventually, if I'm in a competition and I'm not feeling like myself and I'm feeling a bit slow and sloppy, I'll know that I can still get through it because I've trained on days when I felt like that. You always need to push through and make yourself realize that you can make it count even on the days when you're not feeling yourself. Just because during a competition, if I'm being completely honest, it's probably less than 50% of the time that I feel incredible and at my best shape. A lot of times, because of the fear, because of the excitement, because of the nervousness, you do feel a bit uneasy, and sometimes, especially if I cut a bit too much weight, I'll feel slightly tired and slightly low on energy. But I'll just know that I've trained on days when I felt like that and made it count. So I just don't feel worried during the competition. Injury is inevitable in any competitive sport, but how do you mitigate the damage? This was asked by Insidious Hip Flexor Pain. Your question makes sense. How to prevent it? Make sure you have a good coach that's really attentive to your technique. Never being distracted and not using the right technique. Make sure that you're always making every single movement count and know your body. So if you're doing something that's a bit too heavy and you can tell that it's still a bit too heavy for you, take a step back, go down in the weight, make sure every single lift feels safe. There's a difference between safety and pushing it in terms of tiredness. You just really need to know your own body. Sometimes that's not always possible. For myself personally, I find it very hard to tell when I'm being lazy or when I'm just tired. I am unsure how to distinguish between the two. I am eventually getting a bit more aware of what is what. However, you just need to try and learn from experience, I guess. How do you manage stress from life and how do you not let it affect your training? Listen, I do get a lot of stress from outside of the gym. I mean, who doesn't? What I try to do is as soon as I step into the gym, just leave everything at the front door. Don't bring it into the gym with you. Ignore the outside world for that few hours that you are in the gym. Of course, this is not always completely possible. However, I just try to approach it in that way. And also, if something very big is happening that is really distracting you, even when you're inside the gym, you just need to be careful. I mean, weightlifting isn't just a sport that you can do detached. So you need to really be there mentally 100%. If you're going through something really big, take it as a rest day. Don't risk injuring yourself. If you can't, just ignore it for that few hours. So that's basically it, guys. Those are the main questions you guys asked. If I didn't answer one of your questions, go ahead and put it in the comments below and I will answer you by replying to your comment. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you found it informative. Until next time,